Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
And I'm Dami, also known as damisdoodles.
And we are glad to have you today. Today is not Wednesday. It's Thursday, the 18th of October, 2018, and this is episode 316. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys. To all our returning viewers. And a big hi to the new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. Dami, we had somebody introduce themselves in the Ravelry group this week. Why don't you give them a shout out?
Okay, it's Casey. Who is Sassenach Knits 219 from Michigan.
Welcome, Casey. We're glad to have you. If somebody's not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do, Dami? And why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introduction site because you'll get a shout out in the next episode and be able to participate in all our outline giveaways.
That's right. So let's address the cat in the room. You may have seen on social media already, but I'm dealing with my third bout of Bell's palsy, which is a horrible disease that affects the muscles in one side of your, it could be either side, but one side of your face. For me, it's left. And my mouth is doing quite a bit better. I'm talking better and being able to eat better. My eye is it's open about this much, which is really makes it life hard to do things. So wearing a patch on the eye, and I'm on medication, and hopefully it should clear up within 3 weeks. Otherwise, I'll have to go through all the same testing as I went through when it happened the first time, when we were scared to death thinking I was in my late 20s having a stroke, because it mimics stroke symptoms. So I'm going to do my darndest to get through the podcast. I've been kind of just taking it easy and doing a lot of crafting and watching a lot of TV, which you'll see in the upcoming segments. We do have a book review today that Dami's going to kind of take the lead on. So thanks to everyone who has sent such kind words and prayers and support. And it's been 10 years since my second bout, and so I never thought I would have to deal with this again. And then at church Sunday, it just came on all of a sudden. The second time it's happened on or around Dami's birthday. So apparently you're not allowed to have any more birthdays.
I'm cursed. I'm very jingly baby.
Yeah, she's taking a bath. Yeah. So with that, I think we probably should get started. Here we go.
Now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So what is on your needles, Dami?
What I'm working on is essays for classes. That's what I'm working on.
Okay. Did you get any knitting time in this week?
A teeny bit, but
okay.
I've got a midterm next week.
Okay. Yay, exciting.
Yay. Yeah, so I'm not really going to talk about it because I've got no progress to show.
Okay. Did you think about seeing if you can take it to rehearsal with you and such?
Well, I just have to keep following along in the script.
Oh, okay. Maybe once lines are memorized.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay.
So what's on your needles?
I've actually gotten a lot of crafting done this week. I
wonder why.
I know. So first up is my zigzag blanket. This is the 10-stitch zigzag pattern by Frankie Brown on US 4's 3.5 mil needles. I finished the 55th stripe.
Yay!
So now I am 69% done with this blanket.
Oh, that's a lot.
I know. So I finished the Mint Rain Tough Sock and the Daydreamer with hot pink colorway stripe. And now I am doing the Space Cadet Ombre and Gradient mini skeins in the Ombre MS1403 colorway. I know, so descriptive. So what I'm doing, so there's 5 colors. We talked about this a little bit last week. There's 5 colors. And so what I'm doing is going from darkest to light. I'm doing 2 2 zigzags in each color, and then when I get to the end of the light, I'll do the 2 more of the light and go back out to the dark. And then on the next stripe, I'll flip-flop it and go from lightest to dark, darkest to light. So I'm really liking how it's going, though. It's very pretty. So I had something epic happen.
What epic happened?
Hold on, let me show you. You've already seen it. I already showed you.
Oh.
Look, it's not on needles anymore.
Wow, that's amazing.
So this is the cathedral wrap. I'm knitting this for Dammy's 19th birthday, which was over the weekend. So, as one does. So I'm doing this on US, it's a pattern by Joji Locatelli. It's on US 6's 4mm needles, and the yarn is Knit Pick Stroll hand painted in the Borealis colorway. So right here, so do you see that the lace ends like right here? From this point to the end, it is 168 rows. So beyond all this up here, 168 more rows of that. So, and now it's on waste yarn, and now I have to make another one exactly identical to it. And so I have started. I'm in the first band, so because the lace takes longer as always. And Dammy, who sent us these stitch markers? Do you remember?
No.
I cannot remember. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten. But it's the I Smell Snow stitch marker set. And then it's got little ringed ones with beads, different colored beads on them. That's inspired by Gilmore Girls. So I'm using those on it just for some funsies. So I'm on to that second one, and we will see how it goes. And then I am working on a hat for my nephew Waylon's 5th birthday. This is the Lowlands hat by Tin Can Knits on US 7's 4.5mm needles in the Knitology Bouncy Worsted in the dashboard colorway. So this right here is 40 ridges, and I have to get almost 70, but it's pretty fast. And then you graft it together and then pick up stitches and do the crown. So I'm working on that. I finally, it seems like we've been waiting for this forever, took my English paper piecing class on Friday. So I went with my friend Mel, and it was so much fun. And this is my progress thus far.
Ooh.
So how cute are those kitties? So these are actually 2-inch hexagons. The papers are over on my desk where I would show you. They measure the hexagons by the width across one side, but from here to here is actually 2.5 inches. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm planning to do a queen-sized blanket, which originally I was supposed to do 1-inch hexies. That's what the class called for. And then we started doing the math, and I was going to need to do like 12,000 hexies.
Love it.
And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. So there's exciting things going outside to your room. So my plan is for all of them to have this gray center one with the design. And then I was doing actually math before you and I got on to do this. I know, because I need to do 12 of these to get around here. And then I was going to flip-flop and do this as the inner and the kitties as the outer. But I don't have enough of the kitty fabric. A fat quarter doesn't give me enough to do the full 12. It gives me only enough to do 10. So I have this really pretty pale lavender fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 of them in lavender. So like maybe put a lavender here and here, and then that around it. And so all the flowers will have the gray center and the 2 lavender pieces. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I am working on this. Expect me to be working on it for quite a while because It's probably going to take years to get done, just like the zigzag blanket.
Then you'll have 2 blankets.
I know.
2 whole blankets.
I know. I don't even know about the how it gets quilted at the end, like, because you have to have some kind of backing on it. So, I should have like showed. So, I don't know if you can see, because wait, here, we'll do it on the gray. Can you see this like peachy colored thread?
Mm-hmm.
So what essentially what you do is you fold the fabric around the paper hexagon and you do a basting stitch. Well, there's like 6 different ways you can do it. You can use glue, you can use an iron and freezer paper. I'm doing
You can use glue.
You can use like glue stick and do it around, but
interesting.
I was like, no, I want to do this. This is the whole purpose of this for me, was I wanted to do something by hand. So anyway, so you baste around, and then you, can you see that I like whip stitched it together with a gray thread?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let's see. Maybe you can see better here. Yeah, right there. Yeah, and then once a piece has something all the way around it, you can take out the paper. That's why there's no paper in this one anymore.
Mm.
So, yeah, so it was a fun class. I took it with my friend Mel. There was just 3 of us in the class, and one lady had some experience doing it before. She had like tried to teach herself, but had gotten caught on a couple of mistakes. So that's why she took the class. So, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then there's one more thing that I worked on this week.
So much crafting.
Do you know what this is?
Hold on, I minimized you. It's a swatch. Yes, I know what it is.
It is a swatch. I just actually posted this on social media a little bit ago. This is my swatch for my Nanny Swimmo sweater for this year. So this will be my 6th year participating in National Knit a Sweater in a Month, where you knit a sweater of 50,000 or more stitches in 1 month in November. And so I swatched yesterday and blocked it and then measured it this morning. So I am right on for stitch gauge, but for row gauge, I'm like 1.5 over. So I think it's supposed to be like 31 and I have like 32.5, but that's not going to be as big a deal because it is like, you know, it's like knit till you get to X number of inches from the underarm. So it's not going to be as big a deal to be a little bit off on row gauge.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and I want to put on the screen what I'm doing. I'm doing the Granito sweater by Joji Locatelli. It's a really cute pullover with pocketses, which I've like looked through some of the finished ones on Ravelry, and some people did the lining of the pocket a different color, and it was really cute. I might do that.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it in this yarn, obviously, which is, of course, I didn't write it down. It's in my stash. It's nano stitch laboratory scientific sock in a one-of-a-kind lab experiment colorway.
Ooh.
And I have 4 skeins of it, and you helped me wind this while you were home. And so I am all ready to cast on November the 1st. So I know we talked about this in Ask the Geeky Girls a few weeks ago, but is anybody joining it? I know we've got at least a couple people from the group that are joining in to participate. So it should be a lot of fun. Or are you doing the writing version, National Writer Novel in a Month of 50,000 words or more? Or are you completely crazy and doing both? Which there have been some people who have done both, and I don't know how. So, okay, that is everything that I am working on. So I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what you finished, because I finished nothing.
And even though I had tons of craft time, I only actually finished one thing. So I know. but I got lots of stuff on the needles. So this is my 41st preemie hat for the year. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can get on Ravelry on US 6's 4mm needles, and I held doubled the Mint Rain Tough Sock, the Daydreamer colorway with the strand of hot pink colorway. I have just a smidgen left of it, so it'll be like a in what hat it'll be a contrasting like stripe in a hat to use up the last little bit of it. So that is seriously the only thing I finished this week. Well, I guess I finished a swatch. I finished half of your birthday wrap. Finished a bunch of hexagons, but only one true finished project. So I guess we're ready to move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show. Yummies. What are yummies, Dammy?
They are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. Your kitty is jingling in the background. Hi, baby.
You should bring her over.
She's mad.
Why?
Because we took the towel away.
Oh.
So I think we're going to have to give it back to her. So
no, make her sleep in her bed.
We had a towel like sitting. We've got like a half wall, like when you first come into our flat, and there's the closet with the washer and dryer, and then we have one of our couches up against the half wall and everything. And there was a towel laying there that had gotten washed, and I don't know. I guess it just got set there, and neither of us put it away. And Pink Pearl decided she liked sleeping on it. And so we thought she was just like really liking the spot. And so we just today, the hub switched it out and put her blanket up there thinking, okay, that's great. She'll sleep up there. She's pissed. She is so unhappy that we took the towel away, and the towel is in the dryer. So I have to wait till it finishes drying so I can give it back to her.
Put it in her bed.
I know.
Make her sleep in her bed.
Silly baby. I do like her sleeping up there on the couch behind me though, because I can pet her all the time.
She's cute.
Her is. Silly baby. Okay, yummies.
So pink is one of them.
Pink is a yummy, always. So I got some yarn in the mail this week. It was cool. It came in this cute little drawstring pouch, which is really cool. Okay, so this is yarn from X-Ray Ann. She is X-Ray Ann on Etsy. I'll put a link in the show notes. But I ordered, this is a 50-gram skein. It's actually already wound. It's in a cake. And this is her fingering sock weight. It's 50% superwash merino, 25% bamboo, 25% nylon. And this is, it's 50 grams, 220 yards, and the colorway is semi-solid battleship. So
that's what I feel in my soul.
It's actually a little lighter than it's showing. It seems really dark. It's more like that. But the reason I got this is I've been using, so I always end up with tons of fingering weight scraps. So I've been using them in preemie hats, and I had a lot of neutrals that I was using up, but I pretty much used up the neutrals. So I needed a neutral that I could just use with figure weight scraps for preemie hats. So I just got this gray because it'll go with anything. So yeah. It was packaged up all really nicely and everything when it arrived. So that's that. That's the only thing I have for yummies, but I think you have stuff.
Not on me. I mean, I can talk about it.
That's what I meant. You were just to talk about what happened.
It was my birthday last weekend, so I went home, and you already know this.
I know. I was so glad that you were coming home. It had been 3 whole weeks since I had seen you.
3 whole weeks.
Well, I mean, like, I see you every day on
forever. It's
forever. On the FaceTime. I know, it was so long. So, do you want to talk about anything that we did?
Well, I was surprised because you set up our kitchen table like Ariel's grotto.
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
With a fishnet, there was a dingle hopper, a fork, a corkscrew, a necklace, a bracelet, a very jingly bracelet, a glass, Is that everything?
Think so.
And then I made you an Ariel cake.
And of course the cake.
Yes. And we went somewhere.
We went to go eat Chinese food. Panda Express.
Yes, that's your favorite. You wish there was one closer to you.
Well, it is close to me. I just don't have an easy way to get there because I gotta use the bus to get everywhere.
Yeah. And it's about a half-hour drive from where we live to the closest one. So, do you want to talk about any of the gifts that you received?
I received an electric kettle and a French press and a bathroom.
Which are all things that you needed.
Merry Christmas.
Be careful because your microphone is rubbing against your sweater or your shirt and it's making it crinkle.
No, I don't want that.
Because you only have the meal plan that's 2 meals a day.
Mm-hmm.
But you need coffee in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you're not allowed to have a coffee pot in your room.
Mm-mm.
So I got you an electric kettle that you can put in the kitchen on your floor and put a note on it that says, feel free to use it for water, but it belongs to me. Because then you can make your French press of coffee and take that to your room.
Yeah.
And then you were also talking about needing something from the shower way down the hall to your room.
Yeah.
So I got you a purple fuzzy bathroom. I also got you an Ariel washcloth.
Yes.
Very important. I happened to see it in the dollar store. It's one of those where you put it in water and it expands.
The magic towel.
So, and you got some monetary gifts that you're trying to decide what to spend on.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of that, I put in a request to I'll link it all up in the show notes when I get it, but to the lady that I'm ordering the Bujo cover from.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to first just order the 100 Acre Wood one.
Yeah.
And then later order the River Song Journal.
Ooh, yeah.
So, but she's vending at a show like right now. But I needed to do it as a special order so I could tell her exactly what I wanted. So I emailed her earlier in the week, so hopefully I'll hear back from her soon. So
yeah,
I think that's everything for Yummies. I've been doing a lot of crafting and watching TV.
I've been doing a lot of reading and writing.
That's right. Well, then let's talk about hashtag GG Crafty Pad. What is that, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls. No, my brain just lost. Stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month. So take a look at the prompter that day and take a picture related to it and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
Yep. So October, we're still continuing with birthdays and autumn and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. Today's prompt, I've already posted it and I can't remember what the prompt is. A good thing. I was posting about my Nanny Swimmo sweater is what I posted about. So you take a look for the prompt for the day. Actually, by the time you see this, that will be yesterday's prompt because anyway, you know what I mean. You take a look for the prompt. You interpret it however you wish. We're very cheater friendly on that. You post your photo on Instagram. Make sure in the caption you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad because that's how we find your photos. And yours might get chosen. if you are participating in Geeky Crafty Pad and you have a private account on Instagram, you need to make sure Damisdoodles is following you, because otherwise we can't see your photos. So,
Yep.
and we don't have any upcoming events that we actually have details on yet.
Love it.
Well, I guess technically, because the Dr. Hubs and I are going to a event in November called Tacoma something. Tacoma is for Lovers Artist Craft Fair.
Okay.
It is being held at King's Books in Tacoma, Washington on Sunday, the 18th of November. And the reason we're going is because my friend Yuko from Honeyberry Studios, who we've talked about, we did review and give away some of her stuff, and I ordered some of her stuff, and she sent me the sweet card after you left for college. She's going to be vending there. But she's told me that it's being held in a bookstore. There's a comic store, and there's cats. So the only other thing I need is coffee.
And there's cats.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was repeating it for emphasis.
Oh, okay. So the only other thing I need is coffee, and then my life will be whole.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hubs and I it is on a Sunday, so we'll drive down after church. It's about from church, it's about a 50 minutes to an hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to come back down through Bremerton. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that, to see you go and see whoever else is there. I'm not sure who else is going to be there. So,
yeah.
Alrighty, I think that's everything for Yummy, so we should move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Jeremy?
I finished reading Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Yes.
By Philip K. Dick.
Yes.
And now I'm rereading it and The Left Hand of Darkness to study for my midterm.
Okay. And you read a little bit of Phantom, too, while you were home.
Yeah, Phantom by Susan Kay.
Yep. And then the other thing is?
The other thing is, what is it? Oh, The Glass Scientists, which is a web comic by Sabrina Katungo.
So after this midterm, what are y'all reading after that? This is for your science fiction English class, right?
Uh-huh. We're reading Kindred by Octavia Butler and The Power by Naomi Alderman.
Seriously, I just finished reading The Power.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's on the show notes to talk about today.
What? Okay.
I had no clue you were reading that for class. Okay, I'll talk about it when we get down there. That's funny.
Don't spoil me.
I won't spoil you. So I assume you're getting your 15 minutes a day in with all this reading.
Yes.
Yes. What am I referring to?
You're referring to what months is it? October, November, December read along.
Yes, RAL. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 or more minutes a day, every day. There is a finish line thread in the Ravelry group where you post once and then edit your posts to tell us at minimum that you've read your 15 minutes that day. You can be more specific. You can put what you're reading. You can read anything you want. Audiobooks count. Anything that you're reading counts. There's 2 categories of finishers. If you read 88 of the 92 days or more, you'll be entered into 1 or more giveaways for any of our ebooks. You'll get a 20% off a single pattern coupon code from our store and a virtual badge. If you read 61 or more up to 87 of the 92 days, you'll be entered into 1 or more giveaways for a single pattern from us, and you'll get a virtual badge. Hashtag is GGKRAL18 if you want to post about it on social media. There you go. Okay, I'm continuing to read Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis. I'm just doing 2 chapters a week, so that's why this is taking so long, because I'm reading it with a friend and we're doing kind of a one-on-one book club. Really enjoying it. I'm reading The Sacred Enneagram by Christopher L. Hertz, which is really, really interesting. We're now to the place where he's talking like in depth about each of the different types of the 9 types of the Enneagram. Mm-hmm. So you and I are both 4s. 4. So I'm really enjoying that. I am rereading Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is book number 2 in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I'm reading that along with the Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and the Swish and Flip and All Potter podcast. I'm reading the Kinsey Millhone series by Sue Grafton. I finished reading W. I'm waiting for X. I have Y, but I don't have X. I'm waiting for somebody from the library to turn it in so I can read X, so I can read Y, and that's the end of the series, unfortunately, because she passed away. I read The Good Shepherd by D. Marie Prokop this week. So she's one of our podcast viewers, and she sent me an advanced reader copy. So I've read it. It releases officially on Halloween. And we're going to talk more about it in upcoming weeks because we're going to do a giveaway of the book once it releases. So I'll talk more about that then. I read this book that you may have heard of, The Power by Naomi Alderman, this week. So it is like a newer book. It's just come out in the last like couple year. I don't know. It's a recent book. And it's like on all the top lists and bestsellers and all that such. I didn't love it as much as everybody else is loving it, apparently. It was interesting. So the premise of it, like I'm not giving away any special sauce, is that women all of a sudden have this like superpower of being able to send electricity out through their hands. And it's about like how the world changes with women suddenly kind of having this power over men. Is kind of the non-spoilerly premise of it. So it was interesting. I just didn't love it as much as everybody else has been, apparently. So and then I'm reading the Stephanie Plum series by Janet Ivanovich. I finished reading 14 and 15, and I'm reading 16 now. So watching. Do you want to talk about the first thing that we watched? Because it was because of you we watched it.
What did we watch? We watched Blade Runner because it's loosely based on George's Dream of Electric Sheep, but it still did not help me understand the book more.
It's got my boyfriend Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah, it just made me more confused.
I had seen Blade Runner at some point in the past, but yes, there is much confusion. And then I watched, this wasn't yesterday, Tuesday, I watched Blade Runner 2049, which came out, I think, in 2017 with, oh crap, what's his name? I can like see his face. I just watched it. What's his name that does the lead role in it?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling, that's his name. And Harrison Ford is in it, but he doesn't come in until like the hour 47-minute mark or something. It's like a 3-hour long movie. It is so long. And then I should say the Blade Runner that we watched was the final cut. So how the director really wanted it to be, it didn't come out that way. And apparently there's been like 7 zillion other remakes of it or other versions of it put out over the like 30 years or something. So, yeah. So, and then I watched 3 Hallmark movies: Falling for You, Under the Autumn Moon, and Darrow, Body of Evidence. Oh, boom. Okay. As I said, I'm watching a lot of TV. it's hard to like sit in front of the computer screen, which like I can tell like my eyes are starting to like glaze over cross sitting here watching the screen. It's not as bad watching TV because it's at a distance, but up close it's hard. So if I look like I'm going cross-eyed, it's because I am. So I'm rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer with the hashtag BuffyCraftAlong, and I'm in season 6. And so I sat down to start watching this yesterday, and all of a sudden I was so surprised that I was at the Once More with Feeling episode, the musical episode, which is my favorite. And so I proceeded to send Dammy 57 zillion gifs of Once More with Feeling.
Yep.
Because we constantly, if somebody's like, somebody says, I have a theory, and we do I have a theory, it could be bunnies. Bunnies. So anyway, I love that episode, and I watched a whole lot more. And I think, I told you last night, I know I'm getting really close to the episode where, spoiler if you haven't watched it, Tara dies. I know it's coming, but I don't know when, and I'm trying not to look ahead to see when it is, because I want to be a little surprised. But I know I'm coming close to it. So, okay. You didn't watch any of this stuff.
No.
So let me tell you everything I watched this week. NCIS season 16, we actually watched 2 episodes of it. The first one where McGee was obsessed with a Real Wives reality show. It was like Real Wives of the Military or something. I don't remember what it was called. Watch that. And then this episode we watched last night was Gibbs was taking vacation. He was up at his cabin, and Fornell showed up, and Phil, this other guy who thinks he's Gibbs' best friend, showed up. And then there was somebody robbed a armored truck and then parachuted out from a military cargo plane trying to get out. And guess who one of the bad guys was?
What? Who?
The lady from Haven. The lady who played the lead role in Haven.
Oh.
Yeah, from the Sci-Fi Channel. So she was a bad guy. She was a former FBI agent bad guy. Okay, season 5 of NCIS New Orleans. Pride's struggling in his new job because he's used to being hands-on and not paperwork.
I could hear that.
I could hear that too. I turned off notifications. I don't know. That was weird. Sorry about that. I turned off notifications, but I can't turn the volume off because if I turn the volume off, I can't hear you talking.
Oops.
So, I don't know. Sorry about that. The Flash, season 5. So this was the premiere. Barry and Iris' daughter's there from the future, and she's trying to stop whatever causes Barry to disappear. So like in like 3 or 4 years, I think it is, Barry disappears, and he's still missing like 25 years later. So she's trying to stop that from happening.
Love it.
Criminal Minds, season 14. I'm not going to go into details, just tell you that it was creepy. Remember I told you about it, and it was very creepy. Very, very creepy. Supernatural season 14 started, and it was an extremely slow start, and I'm hoping these will pick up in the next episode because I was just like, seriously, this is how we're starting the season? So, I think part of it is we don't have Dean playing for laughs because he's been taken over by Michael. And so we are not getting that comedy part of it. Big Bang Theory season 12, we met Sheldon's childhood best friend. Murphy Brown season 1 of the additional seasons was about the hashtag #MeToo movement. Started watching season 4 of Blind Spot. There are too many bad people who others are supposed to think are good people, and it's messing with my brain. Because remember, Jane is like bad again now because of the drug.
Yes,
but people think she's good. And anyway. Doctor Who Series 11. I'm so loving this. I love the new titles. This episode was so fast-paced, like Gilmore Girls fast-paced. It was crazy. My favorite line from the episode, "Come to me, Daddy. I mean, Mummy." The doctor was saying that. Because, yeah. And the TARDIS now, okay, so you know how in Doctor's Past, since the restart, when the TARDIS doors open, that it's been right into the control room.
Mm-hmm.
So this one, the TARDIS, when you open up the doors, you actually step into the police box first, and then from the police box, it opens up. So there's like this little like alcove type thing, which is kind of cool. And it has a custard cream dispenser, custard cream cookie dispenser. She presses a button or steps on a pedal or something. Anyway, she does something and a custard cream cookie comes out.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. I started watching season 4 of Supergirl. The world now knows that the president is an alien. It got leaked. And I totally forgot about the other Kara. Remember, there's 2 of them now?
Oh, yeah.
I totally forgot. And it was like in the last 2 minutes that they put her on. And I was like, oh, I kind of forgot about her. So, Murdoch Mysteries season 12. It was an episode about immigration. And it was interesting. And then season 7 of Arrow started, and this was such an intense episode. Oliver was in prison, and Felicity and William are in hiding. There's a new Green Arrow, but we don't know who it is. I am thinking, if it's one of the current characters, I'm thinking it's Diana. Is that how you say her name?
I don't know who you're talking about. So
she was one of the team Arrow. And then the last 2 minutes of this episode, we flash forwarded, and William, Oliver's son, and Roy, who was Thea's boyfriend, like back in the early episodes, are on the island together. Like William's grown up, and they're on the island together. Like William's looking for something. He comes to the island, and Roy's on the island.
Well, that's intriguing.
I know. I'm like, where are we going with this? So that should be interesting. Listening to my CC's Faves playlist, my favorite murder podcast. I just listened to today's episode before we started recording. One of the 2 things that they did today was about the urban legends and the truth behind poisoned Halloween candy.
Mm.
So that was kind of interesting. Rachel Hollis, as I've been talking to you about, and then we listened to one of your playlists while you were here.
Oh, yeah.
The Ultimate Car playlist.
Yes.
So I put a link to that in the show notes in case anybody wants to listen to it. All right, I need a break from talking, so we're going to stop here and we'll be back for the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our September, October, November artistic autumnal along.
Yes, we are. So, Dami, tell us about it, please.
So this runs from the 1st of September through the 30th of November and is for any project that you can knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us that relates to autumn.
The fallback is you created it in the autumn.
Yes.
Yes.
There are 2 main rules. The first is that no whips are allowed. Your project has to be started no earlier than the 1st of September and finished no later than the 30th of November. And I'm just reading this straight from the thing because I don't remember what words you use.
Yeah, because I didn't say it, so.
Each project of at least 20 yards, 18.3 meters that you finish and post in the FO thread counts as one entry into the giveaway, unless your project is not at least 18.3 meters, 20 yards. Then you need to group it in a single post with other projects that total at least 20 yards, 18.3 meters.
Yes, you're from there. I mean, this could be like your question, like your life or death question, be like, you will only survive if you can tell us how many meters is 20 yards.
18.3.
And then we would all survive, and we wouldn't die because you were able to answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
Like the crossing the bridge, the troll, 18.3 meters.
Yeah. You can feel free to poly dip in other alongs as long as it meets those other rules. And we've got lots of lovely prizes that are on the screen right now. Thank you to the people who donated them.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all I was supposed to say about that? Was that long enough to show them?
You're supposed to tell them if you would like to see them up close or...
If you would like to see them in more detail or...
links
to where they came from, you can go to geekygirlsknit.com.
And we'll talk about them in detail also on the first podcast of the month.
Mm-hmm. If you would like to donate a prize, you can email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com.
Yes.
You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry to participate. The social media hashtag is hashtag GGKAutumn18. The thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of December, and winners will be drawn on the next podcast. After that, if you are a prize winner, you'll have 30 days from the day the podcast goes live to claim your prize, or you will forfeit it, and then we will use it in another giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a chatter thread on Ravelry too, where I congratulate people who finished projects, and that's what I'm going to do right now on the podcast too.
People also sometimes talk about what they're working on, or they ask questions or whatever.
That
so
too.
Feel free to use the chatter thread for that. But Dami, who finished projects this week?
Another Yarn 9, Crafty Sarah, D-Door4, DJID, I Know Our, Joe Didia, Carlene Page, K Bowman123, Kirsty S, Knit Central, Knit Live Love, Knit and Kitten 2, Lil Angel SG2, Luba81, Missy K Schmidt, Mona Moon, Mystery Sewer, Panushka, Westrauss, Scrap Fair, Shirley Knits 123, Stitch by Moonlight, Weird Judd, Wombat Knitter, Yarn Taxi Driver, and Yellcat 2.
Great job, everybody. So you have about a month and a half to finish your projects, so keep working on them. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Yes, so what is this week's question, Dami?
This week's question is from Rebecca, who is a Strauss from Michigan.
Yep.
Cece, have you ever made an afterthought heel on a sock? I wonder how you get the right foot measurement.
Okay, so yes, I have done it. I don't do it now because I do not like how it fits my heel. So it is just not a good fit for my heel. There's a baby right under me.
A baby?
Let me see if I can get her to come on here. Say hello to you, Dami.
Oh, baby!
Look right here, look, it's Dami. Look, you're at the computer. She's like, why you pick me up, Mama?
Mwah.
Oh, Dami, give you kisses.
Mwah.
So we're going to talk about Afterthought heels, Pink. So we don't like how they fit us, right? Afterthought heel is not comfortable on your little paw, is it? It's not comfortable on Mama's foot either. But here's what you need to know. You need to know how deep the heel is going to be that you do as an afterthought heel. So whether you're using the method where you knit in a piece of waste yarn, or if you're using where you actually cut it, you need to you're going to need to know how many rows deep your heel is going to be.
Yeah, Pink. Yeah.
Because you'll want to use that to make sure you have a little bit of negative ease in your sock so that your sock doesn't fall down your heel. Lala. Okay, hold on. She went down. She just literally leapt out of my arms. Lala from the Knit Girls podcast has a free afterthought heel pattern that you might check. But like in our patterns, we tell you how many inches to knit to before you start doing our modified short row heel. So you need to see how many inches deep your afterthought heel is going to be, and use that to deal with your row count for how long to make the foot. I don't know if any of that makes sense. I mean, the first time you did it, what you could do is knit from. Well, it doesn't really matter.
Does it?
If you're going to cut to put in your afterthought heel, you could just knit, and then you could like put on the sock and see where you want the heel to fall and cut there, realizing that it's going to add some depth.
Yeah.
I just don't want it doesn't fit right on my foot, so I've only done it I think one time and I didn't like it, so I haven't done it again.
Yeah, I do short row because it's easier.
Yeah, that's what I prefer. But some people like to just knit in a tube and then go back in and cut and put the heel in. So, yeah. So that's all the information I can give you. You might check out that free pattern from Lala of the Knit Girls to see if that helps you. So, all right. Well, we have a review and a giveaway winner to announce. So we should move on to the next segment.
So now we have a review and giveaway. Yeah. And I am taking the lead on it. So we are talking about Color Cables by Andy Smith this week. And she has given us a copy to give away as well. Andy Smith is Knit Brit on Ravelry.
Yes, and this is in cooperation with Cooperative Press.
Yes.
So
I love the pictures like this.
Oh, that's good. Why don't you just show it on your phone? That works.
That's why I said I would do it. I cracked my glass screen protector for the first time ever.
Oh dear. I'm sorry.
I'm proud of myself.
I didn't know if it would show up good enough with it being on your phone, but it is.
So I love the pictures like that.
Yes.
Always.
So my minor complaint is on this page right here where it shows all the patterns.
Table of content. It's got 9 patterns.
You can't click on it and be taken to the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's other places in the book where there's like a link to Yarn Dye or whatever that works, but there's not on the page.
So let's see. There's a pair of gloves, a hat, a skirt. And then it looks like, 2 cowls, a shawl, and then 2 scarves. I think that looks right. Here's another cute picture.
Yeah. So the first half of this book is like all about how to knit 2 color cables.
It gives you the fundamentals as well as tips and tricks you will need to successfully work color cables.
That's right. So it talks about yarn, it talks about floats, how to avoid holes, blocking, doing starter swatches, reading charts.
And then the second half of the book is the patterns.
Yeah, hold on just a minute because I think there was something I wanted to show, but I can't remember what page it was on. I love, like, she does like these awesome like tutorials, like photo tutorials walking you through different things, which is really awesome.
One of the steps she lists is oh, hey, I zoomed in. Don't panic.
There you go. That's important. So getting into the patterns, one of the things I love is that one of the models is disabled, is in a wheelchair, and I love that they are using I'm doing air quotes, non-traditional models. I love that. I mean, Pom Pom Quarterly is really cool about that, about using people of all different ages, walks of life, racial. I'm loving that more and more we're seeing that where what would not normally be traditional models are being used. And hopefully one day that will be just something so normal that we won't even point it out.
Yeah.
So, all right. So start talking about the patterns.
Getting into the pattern. So this first one is Lady Stardust. It's a pair of mitts.
Very pretty.
Let's see.
I like that she talks about like the required skills. So if you can go back and look and see like, okay, I need to know how to do this.
You list those too. It is knit on a sport weight on US 4s, and it comes in 2 hand sizes.
Yep.
And she gives a link to her technique for the Italian 2-color cast on.
I've never done that one before.
Yeah, it sounds scary. I don't like how they work.
I'm a little scared. Her charts are very, very clear. Really, really love all of that.
One thing I would like, it might just be how it's being formatted on my screen, but the division between like different sections is not like clearly labeled with like bolder italics. It could just be how the format is coming up on my phone, because sometimes it does it funky. But
it's coming up that same way on my iPad. So you would like them to like highlight or underline or something thumb gusset and like the different sections, just so you know. Yeah,
just so it like doesn't all blend together.
Yeah,
because I now have more experience with this because all my papers are in Times New Roman.
I hate Times New Roman.
So Yeah. So this next pattern is a white light, white heat. I'm trying to find a good picture of it. Okay, there we go.
Very pretty.
So this is a scarf. It's an ombre ball of yarn paired with a solid standout cable color, makes the stitches pop even more. It comes in one size. It's a scarf. It's knit on sport weight on US 6s. And in case you couldn't tell, you're going to need a cable needle for all of these.
Or a cable ring like I have that I use.
If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it.
That's right. The next pattern is probably my favorite.
Yes, the Fascination cowl. It uses an I-cord cast on and bind off. Is that what that's meaning? Yes, it is.
So she used a mini gradient kit to do this one, which is so pretty.
Yeah, this is what's on the cover. It's knit and sock weight on US 3s.
The cool thing, though, about like things like the scarf and cowls is you could do them on a different weight of yarn. It would just affect how big it would be.
Yeah.
But if you, especially
nothing like the mitts.
No, the mitts and the hat probably would not work as well. It'd take a lot of math to figure it out. But things like scarves and cowls totally could do that. I love all these pictures that she's putting in. Oh, it's the same picture.
What I was about to show.
Sorry.
I love the pictures of the floats on the back of the cowl. It's
I know.
Really nice.
She does that quite a few times. She puts in ones like that.
And here's another model wearing it.
Yeah, very pretty.
Very pretty. This is another scarf. It's called Up the Hill Backwards. Will you stop zooming out, please? Thank you. So it's in a nice green and gray.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
And this model has lots of cool pins on the jacket. It's easy to knit cables with simple right and left crosses. It's one size because it's a scarf. It's knit on sock weight on US 2 needles. And it looks really simple. Oh, and there's a picture of the floats for this one too.
I think there's pictures of floats for almost all of them, if not all.
We should just have a pattern that is just floats.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah. Here's a better, closer version of it. There you go. You can see it.
Yeah, I really love that just by doing it in a different color, it just makes the cables pop so much.
So this is a shawl. It's called Oh You Pretty Things. Here's the far away view of it. Another gradient set. I'll see if there's a better picture closer up of the cable edge.
I like the loop detail. That she's got it wrapped around her finger, or you can pull the scarf through, or the shawl through that ring.
Yeah. Oh, we know this yarn. It's knit on Neighborhood Fiber Co. Rustic Fingering.
Yes.
On US 4s. So let's see if I can find. Here we go. Here's the detail. So it's got a nice little edging. It looks like little glasses.
It does. It's very cute.
Like little glasses.
Very cute.
Okay, here's the hat pattern. It's called Moon Age Daydream, if you will. It's got 3 sizes, small, medium, large. And it is on, I don't know what weight of yarn.
Super fine. So that's fingering.
Okay.
It's a 400.
On US 3.
It's a 400 yards to 100 grams. That's the only reason I know.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and she's putting in links for her German twisted cast on. You know that one.
Yep.
And it's very nice. All of these patterns look so matchy-matchy. Like, even though they're not the same, you can still wear them together.
Very much so.
This is, excuse me, I said please stop zooming out. This is another scarf. It's called Soul Love.
Another gradient. I love how much gradients that she's using. So
gradients and cables go together.
So because what I was going to say is so much of the time we think, oh, okay, we have a mini thing set, let's use them in our sock yarn blanket. So it's really cool to have something that you could use in a like actual wearable project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's to show your love of gradient kits with this heart cable worked into a charming scarf.
It's very cute.
So it's one size because it's a scarf. It's sock weight on US 3s.
Yes.
And
can I show this right quick? I love, so there's some points in some of the patterns where you would normally be purling a stitch, but in order to avoid different colored purl bumps on the right side, she like notates it in the pattern, but also in the chart with this kind of symbol. And I love that that's there because that totally like immediately draws your eye to it to go, hey, this is something unusual I need to be aware of.
Hello.
And so I really like that she does that.
The construction of this is interesting. It's knitted in 2 halves and joined with a 3-needle bind up, and then there's a garter stitch band on each side of the short edges, and a 4-stitch edge flanking the cable repeats on each long side edge.
Interesting.
Yeah,
very cool.
Oh, there's the hearts.
Yes.
Oh, love. And then this one looks like butterflies to me. It's called Black Star. It's a cowl.
Okay, so this one is very interesting because she accidentally started designing it with DK and fingering weight yarn, which is what's making those cables pop so much.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. Personally for me, I wouldn't knit it in these colors. So I think that's the one thing that's catching me is because I wouldn't.
You're not red and black.
Yeah, I'm not red and black.
Blood of angry men.
Yes.
Black.
But I love how much by using the 2 different weights of yarn how much it's making those cables pop.
Mm-hmm. I like how she accidentally started doing it. Like, yeah. Nice cables.
Yep.
And then there's one more pattern. It's a skirt. It's called Rebel. There's the skirt, but then also the model's tattoos.
They're so awesome. This is not something I would ever wear, but I love it. It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm. When a flattering shape is paired with a simple yet striking cable design, the result is a truly attractive garment. It's got a hidden elastic waistband.
I love how many sizes it's available in. So it goes from a waist size of 26 to 50 inches and hips of 36 to 60 inches, worn with 1 inch of negative ease.
Love it.
It's a DK weight.
It's on DK weight, US 4s. Pretty darn awesome. It's got that little, excuse me, it's got that little slit.
I love that it shows that little tattoo above her knee. It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's so pretty.
It looks so nice.
And then we just have credits and about the author and about Cooperative Press.
Mm-hmm.
I really had not ever thought about using 2 different colors of yarn to make cables.
But now you want.
But now I want to. I really like the cover pattern. So maybe,
yes,
maybe sometime when I'm free of obligation knitting.
How many thumbs up?
Out of how many are we doing? 2 thumbs?
4 thumbs.
4 thumbs. I would give it 2 and 2. So
3.
we're giving it 4 thumbs together.
2 and 2. Sure.
We're giving it 4 thumbs up together. So that was Color Cables by Andy Smith. And as we said, we are giving away a copy of it. So what you need to do is go to our Ravelry group and find the giveaway thread. There'll be one winner who wins an ebook copy of it. You need to go to the Ravelry page for the book and find your favorite pattern and then come back to the giveaway thread and post it. You must be a member of our Ravelry group in order to be eligible to win. Otherwise, if your random number is chosen, we will draw a new winner. We'll keep this giveaway open for 2 weeks until we record episode 318, which will be the 1st of November.
Yes.
And Nanny Swemo starts 2 weeks from today.
Yes.
Okay, so thanks again to Andy for sending it. I really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to try this technique because I'm feeling like with all the information she gives you in the first half, that it equips you really well to be able to jump in. And especially since I've done cables before and designed with cables and all that, that helps. So,
yeah.
And I've done a little bit of color work, so that helps too. Okay, well, we need to announce the winner of the Tin Can Knit String Through ebook giveaway. So we asked you to tell us your favorite pattern. I meant to look through and see. I know there was a lot of ice falls mentioned that people really loved it. So I locked a thread just before we started recording and drew a random number. Dammy, do you want to tell us who the winner is?
Sure. Number 6, Knitter Chow.
Knitter Chow, congratulations. I need you to PM me, Java Pearl and Ravelry, to tell me you've seen this, and then I will get in contact with Tin Can Knit so they can gift the ebook to you. Thanks to everybody who entered. If you didn't win, I encourage you to go buy it because it's a really great collection. And you have 30 days to claim your prize. All right, let's move on to the next segment. All right, we made it to the end of the show. Thanks so much, y'all, for bearing with us. Hopefully, by this time next week.
I didn't make a single pirate joke.
But my kitty is so cute. Look at my Halloween kitty. I was joking.
Our other kitty is very cute, too.
She is. I was she's eating.
So...
I just showed her a couple seconds ago.
But I miss her face.
I know. We'll FaceTime you later. I was telling my friend the other day that I put the kitty on the eye patch, and I was like, I guess this means I have to be a pirate for Halloween. And then I was like, and I could put pink on my shoulder, and she could be my parrot.
Parrot pink.
It wouldn't last probably 5 seconds. Anyway, thank you for bearing with us. I know the podcast may have been a little disjointed, but we did the best we could. The only announcement I have is just a reminder about the 2019 Great Podcaster Craft Together. There's a link in our show notes for that. It's a nice way to be able to poly dip into numerous alongs in the new year. We'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who supports the podcast, however you do it, especially to those of you who support us financially. You get a big heart. We love you guys. It does cost money.
Oh, now our heart was disjointed.
Oh, I did it.
No, but I wasn't.
Oh.
You gotta make your hand like a C, and then stick the thumb out a bit.
Like that. Okay.
Yeah. My computer is low battery.
Well, we're almost done. If Dammy suddenly disappears, that's why. Because it does cost money to do a podcast, to deal with prizes and shipping and technology and all that stuff. So there are 3 main ways you can support the podcast financially. The first is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount a month to your favorite creatives, and you get rewards based on the level you donate at. If you would like to sign up or want to learn more about that, go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
It's another way.
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go through our website first, we earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. If people want to find out more about any of that or want to find us online, where do they go?
geekygirlsknit.com, and there are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely rest of your week and happy knitting, and we'll talk to you again next time. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, stay tuned after the credits for pictures from Dammy's birthday. All right. Bye, guys.